Hi, and welcome to this course by RouteFabric. And in today's session, we're going to go over scaling. In today's session, we're going to talk about horizontal scaling and vertical scaling and what are the differences. On the screen is an example of horizontal scaling. For example, if you have two EC2s that are spun up, two EC2 instances that are going, and you receive more traffic. If you increase your EC2 to 3, 4, 5, or 6, or 10, then you're scaling horizontally, which means you're just adding more of the same instance. In this example, a T3. So you're scaling horizontal. The opposite of horizontal scaling is vertical scaling. The difference is you're not adding more T3 instances, you're moving up to a larger, as in performance, CPU or virtual machine, which means it can handle more, and it may be just one of them, but it can do much more. So in a scaling vertical, you may go from a T3 to a C5, which can do more, which may have more RAM, more memory, more compute power, or more throughput. We're going to go to the console and take a look at where we can see these differences. Here in the console, we're just going to go to EC2, and we're going to spin up an EC2 instance and just kind of look at the configurations to where horizontal scaling and vertical scaling will be applicable. Run instance. We're going to go to EC. Let's launch an instance. Launch. And we're going to come to the screen where it's the 7 steps to configuring an EC2. And these are the free versions. And if you would notice that if you look to the right and also under each of these AMIs, they may come with different compute configurations. So let's just go with the free tier. It's going to be a Red Hat. Right here, you can choose free tier, which is a T2 micro. As you can see, the vCPUs is 1, memory is 1, and the performance is low to moderate. However, if you need more performance, you can scroll down to general purpose and look how the number changes and the performance change. So just look and compare. And this is an example of vertical scaling. If you move from a T2 micro, which is the free tier, to something much larger with more CPU, more memory. So let's take a look down here. C5, 48 CPU, 96 memory. So it's going to be able to perform at a higher level. So that is an example of vertical scaling. So let's stick to the free tier and let's move forward so we can look at an example of horizontal scaling. And AWS, really, they don't care which one you do as long as you get your job done. But it tends to lend itself towards horizontal because it's easier to manage. Okay, right here is an example on step 3, configure instance details. Here's an example of horizontal scaling. Well, I have 1, or I may have 23 of them. And it's going to spin them all up with the same exact configuration. So if you need vertical scaling, you're going to increase the power, the CPU, the performance, the memory, etc. If you're scaling Horizontal, you're simply going to add more of the same EC2s to it. Well, I hope this was informative, and if you'd like to know more about vertical and horizontal scaling, you can check out our courses at RouteFabric.com. Thank you.